What's going on, everyone? This is Dom, and this year Google decided to change things up a bit and release not one, but two new Nexus devices with different builds and different price points. So there's the LG-made Nexus 5X, which starts at $379, which I recently reviewed and link below if you want to check that out. And we have the Huawei-made Nexus 6P, which starts at $499. These two options aren't very far apart in terms of pricing, but the difference between them is pretty significant in a few areas. So here's the story with the Nexus 6P. Around the front, we have a 5.7-inch AMOLED display with a resolution of 2560 by 1440 covered in Gorilla Glass 4, and hot damn does this thing look crispy. Pushing those pixels is a Snapdragon 810 processor, Adreno 430 GPU, and 3GB of RAM. And there's also a 3550 mAh battery and 32GB of storage in the base model. Unfortunately though, no expandable storage here. Unlike the Nexus 5X, the 6P ships with dual front-facing speakers, which are pretty amazing. They sound fantastic and really add to the media experience when combined with the sharp display. There's also an LED notification light located in the top left corner, unlike the 5X, which has it placed in the lower speaker grill. Simply put, this is the entire package right here with the Nexus 6P. As far as build quality goes, this thing is rock solid. We have an aluminum body finished off with chamfered edges that really feels great in the hand, though it can be a little slippery at times. Seriously, I feel like I'm gonna drop this damn thing constantly because of the weight of it, which is nice, but combined with the slick aluminum, it really adds up to be a dangerous situation. And I know you guys hear this often, but it couldn't be more true. Slap a D-brand skin on that bitch and call it a day, and I'll leave a link below if you want to get one for yourself. Compared to the plastic build on the 5X, this is miles better and well worth the 120 bucks or so you'll spend to make the jump from a base model. Unless you need a smaller screen or want to save the cash, there's really no reason to buy the Nexus 5X. The Nexus 6P is running Android 6.0 Marshmallow, and just as Google intended it to be. There's no bloatware, third-party apps, or any other crap installed that would tamper with the buttery smooth experience here. It's one of the smoothest Android devices I've ever used. And Marshmallow is somewhat of a minimal update in terms of design, but it comes along with a few helpful features that I mentioned in my 5X review, but one of my favorites is Now on Tap. When you hold down the on-screen home button, Now on Tap will scan your screen for various tidbits of information and pull down results from the internet. It's pretty helpful, but nothing that's exclusive to just Nexus devices, though this is by far still the best Android performer you can have. It obviously falls short in the third-party customization department, but that's the point. This is for purists and those who prefer an unadulterated Android experience, and you get just that. With the Nexus 6P and 5X, we have Google's new fingerprint scanner called Nexus Imprint, and while it's nothing new in the smartphone department, Google has really done it right the first time around. Like its smaller 5X brother, the Nexus 6P has a fingerprint scanner on the backside and is located right where your index finger would rest. Fingerprints can be managed within the Settings app and are extremely quick and simple to get set up, and it's pretty damn fast as well. This thing works like a boss all around and is perfect in combination with Android Pay. I'm just a big fan all around of Nexus Imprint. I'm sure by now you've noticed that weird ass little hump on the back near the top, right? Well, if you were wondering what the hell that was, it houses the camera, dual LED flash, and some sensors. It's quite an eyesore in my opinion, but at least it's made of glass and not plastic, which could be a bad thing depending on if you ever drop the phone and crack the glass. But anyway, we have the same 12.3 megapixel Sony sensor found in the 5X, which works pretty great. Photos are crisp and clear, it's decently fast at shooting, and the HDR Plus mode works excellent. Without HDR, the camera does tend to blow out highlights in some conditions, but overall I'm pretty happy with the performance here. It's not the best camera you can get, and I'd still give the win to Samsung's Galaxy Note 5, but it's definitely good enough. There's also an 8 megapixel selfie shooter, but not something I'll use very often. Either way, it's a nice package overall in the camera department, and I'll be sure to leave a gallery link below if you want to check out the full resolution photos for yourself. We also have the ability to shoot up to UHD resolution video with the Nexus 6P, and unlike the 5X, there are some stability options packed inside. There's no optical image stabilization, but we do have electronic image stabilization during video recording, which definitely helps smooth things out a lot. Along with that, there's even options for 120 and 240 frames per second slow-mo video. As for battery life, the Nexus 6P definitely outperforms the 5X, but not by much. I'm able to get through the day with around 4.5 hours of screen on time, which is pretty good, and it charges up with a USB Type-C cable and the power adapter, and also takes advantage of fast charging technology. And just in case you need to sync things up with a computer, there's also a USB-C to USB cable included in the box. Now, Marshmallow's doze feature drastically decreases battery consumption during standby as well, which is very helpful. Like I said, it's not crazy amazing battery life, but it measures up to other phablets we've seen this year and will likely be enough for most people. So here's the verdict. This is a badass phone, plain and simple. It's fluid, fast, with a dope display, power under the hood, an epic build, and most everything you would want from a flagship smartphone. It undercuts a lot of the market with its $499 price tag and will not disappoint you. Don't buy the 5X, save a little cash, and get this. You won't regret it. So that about wraps it up for my review of Google's Nexus 6P, and if you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you're not already for more videos like this in the future. Thanks again for watching, everyone. This is Dom, and I'll catch you in the next video.